not only to make the playoffs. The celebration, well, it started early. Some 20 buses, Todd Christensen, arriving here. Here's one. That's the Harmon Express for Ronnie Harmon. That's the very quiet bus.
That's the one where they don't speak too much. You're right.
This is the noisemakers on Junior Seau's Express.
And those must be some of the restaurateurs who've been giving him the free dinners of late. Junior talked about how everybody's jumping on that bandwagon. They're very excited about their San Diego Chargers.
And this is the leader, Bobby Ross. The record is 9-5. They have won 5 straight and 9 of the last 10. And he has constantly, week after week, kept them focused on the game ahead.
He's done an outstanding job, but one of the things that has certainly helped is this quarterback stepping in, as you see with that graphic. A lot of people feel like San Diego's still a running team, but that man at the helm, even though he leads the NFL interceptions, has been a boon to that program, solidifying a position that has not been solid since Dan Fouts.
The Chargers won the toss. They'll be receiving, and Nate Lewis is to the 5, the 10. Slips 1 tackle, and he's going to return to about the 17-yard line. Andre Bruce was there for the Raiders. Stan Humphries.
2,981 yards. You saw the graphic, close to 3,000. He really has done a good job. And of course, the big argument throughout the National Football League, Charlie, is maybe the Redskins traded the wrong quarterback.
They may have. Stan Humphries needs only 19 yards to become the first 3,000-yard passer since Dan Fouts. And it's Humphries with Walker, as you saw. Butts, Lewis and Miller, Young at tight end, Swain, Moton, Hall, Richards, and Thompson across that front line. Little swing right side to Marion Butts, and he is back. And we expect to see this all afternoon. The rivalry between the Raiders and the Chargers, Howie Long, Broughton Harrison, and Greg Townsend, who made that stop, with Wallace, Bell, and Moss, the 3 linebackers. And in the secondary, McDaniel, Washington on the corners, and Lott and Anderson, both heavy hitters, moving up for the run support at strong and free safety.
You know, Charlie, just to extrapolate on that point a little bit further with regards to Humphries, the passing has taken up 63% of the offense. And in the past, of course, the Chargers have really been known as a one-dimensional running team, but that has changed.
And here's Marion Butts to the 22-yard line. So he will pick up 5 yards on the play. It will be 3rd down and 5 for San Diego.
Ronnie Lott, the team's leading stake. Ronnie Lott can still play.
3rd down and 5. That means, of course, that Ronnie Harmon comes into that offensive set. He wears that trademark visor. We asked him about it yesterday. He said, that way they can't see my face. Good protection. Pass is complete. He goes to Bernstein. And he's got the first down. Still on his feet across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 14 yards on the play. And we'd like to welcome those. No, hold it just a moment. And now we'd like to welcome those of you who had to wait for you to join us there. Those of you who've been watching the New England-Cincinnati game, with the Bengals winning that by a score of 20-10.
Just missed a 3rd down conversion to Rod Bernstein, who, of course, a lot of people forget was a tight end coming out of college. That's what they originally had designed for him when they made him a 1st-round pick back in 1987.
Opening drive of the ball game, no score, 1st down San Diego. And here is Marion Butts. And he's going to pick up just about a yard on the play, and that's all that is there, as Willie Broughton was there to meet him. 2nd down and 9.
Chargers with a counter tray here, but it took a little.
6 and 8 when we talked with him this week. They still did not know, and I guess hard to say what kind of a game they would be playing today. Would they phone it in, or would they really be up for this rivalry? And here is Ronnie Harmon with a great move down the sideline. He picks up the 1st down.
What a quick move. Nice 360 move. Left Ronnie Lott grasping for air. This is a matchup you're going to see a lot today. Ronnie Lott, they spread him out, and they feel like that man for man, that's not Ronnie Lott's forte. He runs a quick hook route. Now watch the 360 move. Boink, right there. He just left Ronnie Lott. Not grasping for air. He wasn't even close. And Aaron Wallace has to hustle over and make the tackle. This man, 5'11", 207-pounder. That is his 73rd catch of the season. 3rd down specialist. Those are unbelievable statistics.
And Stan Humphries just over the 3,000 mark, and Ronnie Harmon will say, I'm not a receiver, I'm a running back. I'm a running back. Humphries goes for it, and it is incomplete. Anthony Miller, the intended receiver, will bring it back to the 44-yard line of the Raiders. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
And we mentioned Ronnie Harmon. He's going to come back into the huddle and say to Stan Humphries, man, I was wide open. That was a one-dimensional pattern. He was going for Miller all the way, but Humphries came across in a crossing pattern, and nobody was with him at all. We had a chance, as you mentioned, we had a chance to talk with Ronnie Harmon. In all the interviews that we have had with players, that was without a doubt the most painful. The man just did not want to talk.
It's like going to the dentist. I mean, he is so shy. And so finally he put his head on the table to you, and he said, how do you do this? How do you talk?
And of course you had to interject. You were born to talk.
That's right. Well,
Thanks so much.
Truth wins out. 2nd down and 10. No score in the ball game. And here is Butts. To the outside, he's to the 40. You'll take a couple of Raiders with him. They'll mark him down at the 35-yard line. Eddie Anderson makes the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
Eddie Anderson is arguably one of the strongest safeties in the National Football League, but if he's going to take Marion Butts up high, he is going to lose. Little misdirection, just a draw to the side. There's no run support. Watch when 33 comes up. Got to take this man at the legs, or that's what's going to happen. He takes Eddie Anderson for a ride, as you mentioned, now 3rd and very short. Eddie Anderson last week, if you happen to see the Monday night game against Miami, returned an interception 102 yards. Nice job there by Billy Herbstman to get it up just as I say it. All right. Longest in Raider history.
And here is Rob Bernstein needing the yard and should pick it up. When we talked with him yesterday, you know, coming off of IR last week with that shoulder injury, everybody figured he'd be out for the season. He said he knew that he would be back, and he's about 75%.
I find it interesting, though, there, Charlie, that with 3rd and half a yard, why would they bring in Rod Bernstein? You'd think they want the 250-pounder Butts in there, but maybe it's Bernstein's turn.
Or perhaps the slashing move of Bernstein to pick up the 1st down is what they were looking for.
Good job there by the lead man, Hendrickson, number 34, who punches in there, and that's exactly who Bernstein follows to get the 1st.
And first to throw, right side, Bernstein incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. 4 wide receivers in the set.
Good job, good job.
And here is Ronnie Harmon. He jumps to the outside, slips 1 tackle. And he'll be dropped at the 29-yard line by Ronnie Lott, who chased him down. A gain of 4, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
Talking to Al Davis before the game, he talked about Ronnie Lott, and he said that behind him is not as effective as he used to do, but when the plays are in front of him, he's as good as any safety in the National Football League. Enabling Harmon to get the extra yardage.
3rd down and 6.
People forget those 60 career interceptions include both work at free safety and at the corner position.
Ryan Brennan is the motion man. And the pass is complete to Sean Jefferson.
And Charlie, Ronnie Lott made the hit that I think prevented the 1st down unless there's an incredibly generous spot. This is just a slant pattern. Now watch the throw. His natural momentum would have taken him over the 1st down. Watch number 42. Pow! Puts Jefferson right between the 8 and the 0. And they are short. Look at the eyes and intensity of number 42. And he arrives, as they say, the defensive coaches, in a bad mood. He delivers a whale of a blow.
4th down and a yard. And we want to welcome those of you been watching the Buffalo-New Orleans game. This is the opening drive. We have no score. The Chargers, 4th down, a little over a yard. They're going for it. And now
they've got a good shot, 17-14.
Thank you, Bob. Houston has always made it exciting. And during the timeout, the Chargers changed their mind. They'll go with a 42-yard field goal attempt by John Kearney, who has hit his last 8 in a row, and his longest this year is 50 yards.
I still think, though, a 42-yard kick is not a given. They had a half yard. They've got 2 backs that are 240 pounds plus. I'd have liked to see him go for it in that situation.
It is up. And it is good. And San Diego takes the early lead. Chargers in front of the Raiders, 3-0. Welcome back to the Coliseum. San Diego kicking off with Alexander Wright and Napoleon McCallum, the deep man, on the return. And here is McCallum. And he is back to the 15. They'll mark at the 16-yard line. We'd like to welcome those of you who have been quarterback. We asked him yesterday if he was going to start. You know, he was pulled out of the game last week. He said, "I'm going to start. I just don't know how long I'm going to be in the ballgame."
He promised himself, though, heading into this season, that he wasn't going to go crazy about it.
No, he was very calm about it. Here's Eric Dickerson, and Junior Seau is there to greet him. And Junior Seau told us yesterday that when Eric Dickerson had more than 100 yards against the Chargers the last time they met, it was a personal affront. He personally was going to stop him.
Well, they're moving him all over the field. He just flicked Steve Smith off. Steve Smith, one of the best blocking fullbacks in the National Football League. I mean, he treated him like a gnat there, just flicked him with the left shoulder. This could arguably be now the new wave of linebacker. They talked about LT as being the best athlete. This man right here, 4'5", 540, 460-pound bench press. His conditioning coach said this is the best conditioned athlete we have in the club.
Schrader tipped, incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 14. Let's take a look.
You can hear the cheers of the crowd. It's clear that based on the controversy over the last week and what he revealed on Monday Night Football, that the sentiment seems to be in his corner.
Art Shell told us he would play 3rd down. His playing time would be exactly the same as it has been. There will be no change. Schrader to throw, has a bit of pressure. And reaching out and getting a hand on him was Bert Grossman. Chris Mims was also there, but I believe it was Grossman that put the initial pressure on him. And the ball is now at the 8-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Key to the pass rush is coming up the middle. You're right. Grossman forces him into the inside, and Chris Mims, rookie star, that's his 10th sack in his rookie year. Young man from Tennessee who came in at about 245 pounds has now beefed himself up close to 280 to play that defensive tackle position. He has been doing it well.
And a Raider is injured on the play. That is Bruce Wilkerson, the starting left tackle. And the Raiders a little thin in that offensive line.
Well, those who watched the Monday night game remember that Bruce Wilkerson struggled against people like Brian Cox and Marco Coleman. If he had to go out for any extended length of time, his backup is Greg Skripanik. And that's a rookie you don't want going against Leslie O'Neal. Take a look at the left of your screen right here, and let's take a look down at his legs. Blocking on Leslie O'Neal as the sack comes up and the bodies actually fall on his right leg. It was an unintentional situation. Of course, the combination of him going against O'Neal and the bodies of Mims and Schrader, a combined 500 pounds. Hopefully he can shake it off. That's tough on offensive line.
A bit of a haze. Here is the kick. Chargers could have great field position. Lewis will move under it, steps away from it. It's going to take a Raider roll. He'll be down around the 45-yard line in San Diego territory. 46 yards on the kick. Chargers lead it 3-0. I've talked about the Chargers and their 5th place schedule. How good is San Diego?
Well, I think San Diego's a good club, and when you look around the AFC, Charlie, let's be honest, there are not any dominant teams. And I would say that if they could win the next 2 games, they could have as legitimate a shot as anybody in getting to the Super Bowl. And
they have the 2 ingredients that you need to get you to the Super Bowl. That is a good defense and a strong running game.
That's right.
And here is Bernstein off the right side, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play from the 45 to the 49-yard line of Los Angeles.
You know, just to augment your point here, as we get a chance to watch Rod Bernstein go off tackle, one of the other things too is that as we've gone out throughout the league, Charlie, and talked with teams about the San Diego Chargers, people come up with the same thing. They say, man, this team is really talented, but for whatever reason the chemistry was always wrong. Now you look at this team and you, boy, there are a lot of first-round picks. There are a lot of talented people. And Bobby Ross has done an outstanding job of getting that cohesion within the club.
And here is Bernstein again. An interesting mix of running backs and some interesting comments on the running backs. It has been stated that Marion Butts runs over people. Bernstein runs over and around them.
As if he's a little guarded. I think what he said was right, about 75%.
Yeah, it is the right shoulder. He said, however, it is advantage when he goes to the hole, he can lead with his left shoulder, so it's not going to bother him that much. Stan Humphries tries to just scoot across and pick up the first down, 3rd down and short.
See Rod Bernstein there on the sidelines. That could be. He could be a little bit shook up. We'll see if they're taking a look at his shoulder, or maybe he's just a little bit uncomfortable.
San Diego picks up the first down. Chargers out in front by a score of 3-0 with 5 minutes left to go. We're in the first quarter.
Look at the pad on his back. That was first popularized by Herschel Walker when he was at Georgia back in 1981. He started to wear that because he continued to get people to step on his back.
Looks like you're carrying a tabletop.
Well, actually, it's very light. It's like the flak jackets designed by Donzis, and it's something that is very protective and at the same time nowhere near as heavy as one of those regular pads as we watch Howie Long.
Howie Long was jumping and then, of course, immediately was pointing at David Richards. David Richards had an interesting quote. They have struggled early on in some of their more recent ball games, that being the Chargers, and David Richards said, you know, I'm never nervous with this team.
Well, because one of the reasons for that is that you've got big play people. That's another ingredient that we made reference to when you say Super Bowl ingredient. You've got people that can go the distance on offense.
False start, offense, number 65. The defense has been warned. First down, 5-yard penalty.
Defense has been warned. Why, for pointing?
No, I think what it is that, you know, Howie, if you saw that, I mean, he really blasted off the line. Apparently, he didn't like the way. Watch number 75 and watch how he comes out. There's no easing up here. Watch how he comes forward. Actually, the funny thing is that Richards is the one that reacted to Howie Long coming. If he'd have stayed still, it would have been all right. But like, who wants to stay still when 6'5", 280 is going to run you over?
First down and 15. Humphries to throw. Lots of time. Right side. And it is incomplete, but pass interference will be called against the Raiders, as Terry McDaniel got there too soon.
He's not going to argue the point that he could have caught the ball. Got there a little bit too soon. That's unfortunate for them.
First down, San Diego. Little play action fake to Butts. He comes outside with a pass and is complete to Anthony Miller. And Miller is out at the 26-yard line.
Mentioned the big play players, and this is certainly one of them, Anthony Miller, and he has been over the last 4 years for the Chargers. Numbers went down last year, but just before that catch, he needs 67 yards to go over 1,000 for the season. People like Miller and, of course, Ronnie Harmon. These are the guys that can go the distance.
Stan Humphries, 5 of 7, 47 yards through the air.
Report on Rod Bernstein, Charlie, he had a sprained ankle. We're going to look into that. They might have to send him in for x-rays.
And here's Marion Butts. And he should pick up the first down as he goes to the 23-yard line. Eddie Anderson makes the tackle.
A low center of gravity.
First down, San Diego. Great fake all the time in the world. And he goes to Anthony Miller. And right now, everything is working for San Diego. Terry McDaniel had the coverage.
This is the sort of catch, it may not seem as consequential because it's only an 8-yarder, but this is the sort of thing that Anthony Miller needed to do over the last couple of years. Everybody knew that he could go the distance. They didn't know whether or not he could make the tough catches in traffic. Nice catch here right with his hands, and actually pretty good coverage as he comes back to the ball. Terry McDaniel actually didn't do too bad a job of Miller. Great athletic play.
Second down and a couple. Second long drive for the Chargers. Here's Marion Butts. And he is met first by Anthony Bell. As far as time is concerned, we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. We're in the first quarter. And of the first quarter, the Raiders have had the ball for only 1 minute and 17 seconds. So the Chargers have had it for close to 12 and a half minutes.
And one of the things that they've been doing successfully is with their first down plays. It seems like in this drive, every time they seem to come up 2nd and 3 and 2nd and 4, and that's not a good thing for the Raiders. The passing game, the short passing game for the Chargers is working well early. And one thing that I've noticed too in the first quarter, Charlie, they've gone with a lot more full wide receivers.
Down and short. There's a lot of quarterback sneaks in this situation. He did it a moment ago. This time he gives it to Marion Butts. He may not have made it. Let's see where they make the spot. Lonnie Lott was there.
And he's saying no. Once again, it's that inexact movement of having to sprint from the sidelines and gauge as to where it is. Trust me, when I was playing, I saw some guys run some funny patterns coming in. You know.
It is an inexact science where you spot the ball.
Kind of like on the punt, you know, when the guy angles it out at the 5 and the guy at midfield is supposed to raise his arm and
drops it 50 yards away, right there.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
And so we'll have the change again.
You know, we were talking about Bobby Ross earlier. One of the points that he made, which I thought was appropriate, is that championship teams win when they're supposed to. They don't just surprise teams. When you get to the level of competence as they are now, 9-5, it's not a matter of sneaking up. What's the decision he makes here, though?
4th down, short. Same situation as just a little bit a little longer earlier. He opted to go with the field goal, and now the Chargers, they're going to go for it.
See, now this is funny.
But then they took a timeout. Now, wait a minute. Maybe they do this situation where they try and draw him off and pick up the 1st down. If not, then go for the field goal. Let's see. Quarterback sneak, right side.
First down, Chargers.
Humphries has been very successful with the quarterback sneak.
Well, remember, that's what I think.
Okay. 1st down. And here is Marion Butts. 7-yard line. So he's going to pick up 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And give you a chance to
8 catches, Charlie. He went over the century mark. He now becomes the 6th player in NFL history to have 100 catches with 102. He only needs 5 next game to break Art Monk's record of 106 set in 1984.
Marion Butts shut off on the right side. Excellent defensive play. He comes back to the left side. He will go to the 3-yard line. So he picks up 4 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 at the 3-yard line.
Well, the clock's about to run out here in the 1st quarter. You'll see some poor tackling on the part of the Raiders. They actually do a good job diagnosing the counter tray. Once he bumps into the others, now he cuts back. Bell unable to make the play. Wallace unable to make the play. Harrison unable to make the play. And finally, Eddie Anderson has to drag him down at the 3-yard line.
In the 1st quarter, San Diego 23 offensive plays. The Raiders 3.
And me, when I think about that, Charlie, is this day and age of teenage success. Pablo Morales with law school, everything else, missing the last Olympics, coming in. I mean, just to make the team, I thought was a big deal.
It was.
And a gold medalist at what, 26, 27? Was that what he was?
Yes.
I mean, that's ancient in the world of swimming.
Not anymore. Here's Marion Butts to the outside, cuts back, and he is hit. Nailed at the 4-yard line. Willie Bratton was there, along with Eddie Anderson.
Interesting, the look of Eddie Anderson when he got up and threw his arms up. He wants the crowd to follow, and I don't understand that call at all with 3rd and short. Why go wide in that situation? Why not go up the middle? The quarterback sneak has worked every time they've tried it.
A field goal team coming out. 4th down and short. They lost a yard on that one. And so Carney with the field goal attempt. We'll take another look.
Why go wide here? Alfred Papunu trying to take on Ronnie Lott. Bouncing to the outside. There's just too many bodies. You can't account for the people in the secondary, and that's why you go between the tackles, because those are the people you can deal with.
Carney, who is hit from 42, now from 23 yards. And it is good. And San Diego stretches the lead. Chargers out in front by a score of 6.
We make
1st quarter, as you can see, the statistics all to the San Diego Charger side.
Well, the 3 plays that the Raiders had were Dickerson tackled for a 3-yard loss, a batted down pass, and then a sack by Chris Mims. So the Raiders ineffective early. Of course, once again, the numbers still only 6 points, so the Raiders are 1 touchdown away of taking the lead.
And while we were away, Rod Bernstein was taken in for x-rays. That ankle may be sprained, but he is walking rather gingerly on it.
One of the
so
points,
John Carney will be kicking off. Go ahead.
I was about to say, one of the points that Stan Humphries has made to us regarding Rod Bernstein is when they have Butts in the game, everybody knows run. When they have Harmon in the game, everybody knows pass. When they have Bernstein in the game, it gives them some versatility.
Here's the kickoff into the end zone. It will be down by McCallum, and the Raiders will start at their own 20-yard line. Now, in the 1st quarter, the San Diego Charger defense was out so briefly, just 3 plays and out for the Raiders. We didn't get a chance to introduce them to you. So here's Bert Grossman, George Thornton, Blaze Winter, Leslie O'Neal with Rolling Plummer and Sayal, the linebackers. Change in the secondary. You'll have Bird and Blaylock coming back. Blaylock now to start, coming off of IR last week. Floyd Fields, and Stanley Richard is inactive for this game with that thigh injury. Darren Carrington is starting at free safety.
And in talking with Bill Arnsparger before the game down the field, Charlie, he said that's a big loss. He said Stanley Richard is playing as well as any free safety in the league.
First down Raiders, second opportunity. A little play action fake by Schrader. He has pressure, and Seau throws him down at the 15-yard line. And still, one of the great quotes that we've heard this week when we asked Junior Seau about the difference of the Chargers. But first,
and look at the intensity of Junior Seau. Does that look familiar to you? It should. Reminds you a little bit of Mike Singletary, middle backer. Take a look as he comes on the blitz. People who have been to a lot of games at the Coliseum saw a lot of this his last year at SC. 19 sacks.
Does that look familiar?
Look at the comparison. Number 50, number 55. Very intense. He is the new breed. He is the new Mike Singletary, arguably the best middle backer in the game.
Second down and 15. Schrader with throw, backside pressure. He goes deep, and it is incomplete. Willie Gault, the intended receiver, he was looking for a flag. He did not get it.
Well, if he's looking for a flag and the ball is underthrown, that's one thing. But take a look now as he cuts to the outside. Okay, he is faster than Blaylock, and he knows it. Now Blaylock runs to him, but he looks. Now he should have kept running here. Why does he keep running? Forget getting tangled up. The ball's overthrown by 5 yards. Gault's got no beef. He should have been running. And the other thing, too, that a lot of people don't realize at home, once you start to look for the ball, your speed goes down. When you look straight ahead and run, then you look back. He looks back 2 or 3 times. That hurts his speed.
Marcus Allen in the offensive set. Third down and 15. Schrader throws far side. The pass is incomplete. And for the second time in the ball game for the Raiders, it will be 3 and out. Alexander Wright, the intended receiver.
Charlie, it's all well and good to have guys that are in a track meet. The Alexander Wrights, the Willie Gaults, the Sam Grady's. That's terrific that they can run the 4.240s, but at a certain point you got to have some production. Those 3 people combined that I mentioned, world-class sprinters, gold medals, world championships. In fact, Willie Gault, of course, you remember because it was a track meet. He did part of a 4x100-meter world record relay team.
In Helsinki, the first World Track and Field Championship.
The 3 of them have combined for only 44 catches. It's all well and good to talk about speed, but at a certain point they have to do something.
Here is Nate Lewis on the return. He is out to the 40-yard line, gets around the corner, the 50, back to the 45, and then out of bounds in Raider territory. The Chargers leading, excellent field position, 25 yards on the return. And there's 10 of them, 37 new Chargers in the last 3 years.
Well, but in fairness, though, let's also mention, Charlie, at this time last year, people weren't saying, what a job Bobby Bethard has done. They were saying, what a job he's done. That's what they were saying. So it's amazing how many ills get cured when you go 9 and 5.
Winning helps the general manager.
I'm telling you,
it helps everybody.
Winning's penicillin.
First down, 40-yard line. Little play action fake. Humphries has pressure, rolls right, gets a block, slips away from Howie Long, gets another block. He gets in a little assist. Was that David Richards who grabbed him by the hand and tried to whip him forward?
Yeah, they actually got away with that one, but that's poor tackling on the part of the Raiders.
They'll end up losing a yard on the play.
Howie Long's going to bust past the double team there of Richards and Courtney Hall, and he's got him right in his sights. Right there is where he makes the mistake. Shouldn't have jumped. He escapes. Now he escapes once again, and you're right. He did get pulled forward there.
He'll pop the whip.
It's number 94, Anthony Smith, I believe, who made the tackle.
And it's second down and 11.
And if it was Anthony Smith, that's his 14th sack of the season.
Will that go as a sack, or had he been out far enough to make it a running play?
Oh, that's
of course, with Stan Humphries, you know, he runs in slow motion. Yes. And we have whistles.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
In fact, some of the offensive linemen say that Stan Humphries is so slow that they're going to call a delay of game on him next time he runs with the ball.
Well, Bobby Ross wasn't too happy about that. You saw his motion there with the officials. He thought that should have gone back to 25 seconds, and it didn't. And you're right. He's the kind of guy that if he goes on, if they have a quarterback draw, it's in danger of being called delay of game. Not a real speedster.
Second down and 16. John Jefferson goes in motion. Humphries over the middle, and he bounces it to Jefferson, incomplete.
Did you see at the end of the play there, Ronnie Lott gives him a little tap as if to say, you know what, sucker, if you'd have caught that, you would have paid a serious price. Watch at the end of the play. It's an awful throw by Humphries. He has it into the grass. Now watch number 42 come up and say, just so you know, I'm here, baby. Take a look. Just so you look at that. And his head actually came up. Watch number 42. His face comes. Now who's coming? Yeah, I'm coming. That's a not so subtle intimidation on the part of number 42.
Third down and 16. Ronnie Harmon into the offensive set. Harmon stays in the block. Humphries looks deep to the left side. The pass is complete. Was that Sean Jefferson? Yes. And Lionel Washington, and a little pushing and shoving.
Now one official from the back, you can see him motioning coming out of the chin, and Lionel Washington doesn't like it. He's going after the official, which would lead me to believe that this is not going to be offsetting. And it's sad because if it goes against the Raiders, that was the best defensive stand they've had thus far in the game.
And in addition, they did not pick up the first down. Here's the official call.
Personal foul, face mask, number 48, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And Washington better watch himself, or he could be ejected from the ballgame if he continues to mouth off to the officials.
Continues to scream there at Jerry Bergman. Let's watch the end of the play. Catch is made by Jefferson. Watch, he tackles him out of bounds. Where's the face mask? There's no face mask there. Now let's watch. Play gets over. They push each other. He pushes him back.
He grabs the face mask there, but that's way after the play.
Come on.
No, that's a bad call.
That's no good.
That's a bad call.
Come on. It's an altercation. You both throw the flags, personal fouls both sides, and let it go. That's a gift for the Chargers.
So spotted at the 18-yard line, and a first down, San Diego. And here is Eric Bieniemy, and he slips a tackle. He goes inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Ronnie Lott makes the stop. Meanwhile, Broderick Thompson came up limping and came off right after that last play. And we will get a report on his condition. We're still waiting. We have not heard back officially on Rod Bernstein. Leo Goaz has replaced Thompson at right tackle. We have a report on Bruce Wilkerson, the left tackle of the Raiders, a sprained foot. Unlikely that he will return. Humphries, a little timing pattern into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Anthony Miller trying to catch it over Terry McDaniel, who had excellent position on it.
And here's the matchup of the two former teammates at the University of Tennessee, and Terry McDaniel. Anthony Miller, of course, been in all the NFL fastest man competitions. Look at McDaniel right there. Good coverage. He looks back at the right time, stumbles forward, has his hand between Miller's. No way he can catch that ball. That's an all-pro cornerback right there. I thought it was funny when we asked McDaniel. I said, well, so how much faster is Anthony Miller? And he bristled at that.
Oh, he
said,
did?
Well, no, wait. What do you mean faster?
He did say about Anthony, though, that he likes to run the deep pattern. He likes to run through the catch, not slow up when the ball gets to him. Humphries to throw, drills it right side. This pass is complete down the right side, and into the end zone is Anthony Miller. "14 yards and the touchdown as the Chargers stretch their lead."
The play was made by Stan Humphries, and some poor tackling on the part of the Raiders in the secondary. He actually gets lost in the shuffle. Look at Terry McDaniel. He's going to collide, come to the outside. He's just going to flat out miss the tackle. And Miller's going to go in for the score. Good job of getting lost behind Sean Jefferson there in the shuffle, but the play really was made by Humphries, who took a tremendous shot just before he got the ball off.
John Carney now will attempt the extra point. And it is good. And it 13, and the Raiders nothing.
Stan Humphrey's hanging in the pocket, waiting to the last possible moment before he gets hammered. But that's a big touchdown for the Chargers. Up 13-zip when we return.
10 minutes and 30 seconds time remaining in the first half. Wright and McCallum are the return men. And it is Napoleon McCallum for the Raiders, and he is out to the 50.
There you go. There you go.
And near the 20-yard line where they will mark it down. Ryan Brennan making the tackle.
Anthony Miller with another touchdown for the Chargers. Great route and a good job. They have really gone against their trends, coming up with a number of different formations and things that have really confused the Raiders.
Also give credit to the Charger defense. This is the third time in the first half the Raiders have had the ball. 3 and out, 3 and out. This is only their 7th play from scrimmage. Eric Dickerson's going to pick up about 3 yards off the left side. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. As now an opportunity to check out the 10-minute ticker with all of the scores. With Buffalo over New Orleans, Minnesota in that close one with Pittsburgh. Minnesota now clinching the divisional title. Houston now can clinch a wild card with a Denver loss. Cleveland has been eliminated. Philadelphia clinches a playoff berth. Green Bay can be a wild card but must win next week. The Eagles must lose once. And the other scores in the NFL today. Here it is San Diego 13 and the Raiders nothing. Schrader comes to the near side and he comes to Dickerson, and he is going to be marked out just shy of the 30-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Junior Seau was there for San Diego.
Well, when I guess the question is, when isn't Junior Seau there? Very rarely. Backpedaling into coverage. It's important to him to prove that he is a complete linebacker. He felt that coming into the league, people thought of him just as a pass rusher. And now, not only the physical ability, but the mental ability now at middle linebacker to make the calls.
Still one of the great quotes of the year, though. When you ask him what is different about this year, and he said, all of my meals are being cut.
I thought that was great.
That a great reaction.
It really is.
And here is Marcus Allen. He is tripped up. He will not pick up the first down. He is going to lose a couple of yards on the play. It'll be 4th down. So the Los Angeles Raiders still do not have a first down. For the 3rd time in the ballgame, it will be 3 and out.
Once again, I question the wisdom of going wide in this situation. Marcus cuts outside. He actually trips over his own man. He trips over Steve Smith. Otherwise, he would have had the first down. The owner can't be too happy about that. I chatted with him before the game, and he in effect made the point that you made, Charlie, and that is that all the things about our predictability on offense, the age of our teams, all of these things that people are denigrating, we get a couple of wins and no one cares.
That's right. Jeff Gossett will be kicking. Pretty good one. Nate Lewis takes it at the 25-yard line. He's to the 30, the 35. And a pretty good return. The Chargers will start from their own 43-yard line. 47 yards on the kick, a 17-yard on the return. Back
they've been playing some great, and I tell you what, they've got the Tez, Cortez Kennedy.
And here is Eric Bieniemy to the 46-yard line, so he's going to pick up 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Winston Moss making the tackle. The Chargers out in front of the Raiders by a score of 13-0 with just under 8 minutes left to go in the first half.
I was surprised that they're on their own 17. That's the worst field position they've had. Look at the other 2 starts. And of course, right here, once again, they're starting at the 42-yard line. Give credit to the San Diego defense, as you mentioned. They just stymied the Raiders thus far.
Little play action fake. And the pass comes to the right side, complete at the 50-yard line to Derek Walker. Washington makes the stop, and the Chargers just continue to operate in all phases of the game.
Well, the short passing game has been particularly effective. They're doing a good job of mixing things up. That's Derek Walker, 89. You see in the backfield. He's the one that goes out in the flat at fullback. So they get the ball to him underneath. Lionel Washington and Winston Moss in on the tackle. And once again, they come up 3rd and short.
And the clock continues to move on the 7-minute mark. Time remaining first half. Play action fake, biding a lot of time, going deep, and all alone behind the coverage is Nate Lewis. 50 yards. The Chargers blow it wide open.
This play is really made by the play action fake of Humphries. Watch the free safety bites. That's 33 underneath. And as a result, there's nobody in deep center field. And that's where Nate Lewis is. What a throw by Humphries. Right on the money. He sees it's there. Look at the body English. Yes, indeed.
58 yards on the drive in 3 plays. 3rd down and 2. They go deep, and you're right of the play calling. The Chargers are throwing every curve that they can at the Raiders. And Carney now with the extra point attempt. And it is good. So San Diego out in front of the Raiders. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. Out of the year, 58 yards on the drive in 3 plays. Time consumed 1:25. Carney to kick off.
Those Humphries numbers.
High and short. McCallum moves up. Let's go out of bounds. Since the kickoff was the 35-yard line, the Raiders will have a first down at their own 35-yard line with the kickoff going out of bounds. Their best field position that they've had this afternoon.
Exactly right. That is their best field position.
And again, this is the 4th offensive possession for the Raiders. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Their offense has not appeared at the Coliseum as yet.
2 things happen in this play. The great play action fake has Eddie Anderson, the free safety. He's going to bite up a little bit. Now take a look that right here, Terry McDaniel is going to slip on the post. Right there, he slips at the 27-yard line, and that enables Lewis to get past him. And what a throw by Humphries. Right on the numbers.
San Diego leading 20-0. Schrader back to throw. Eric Dickerson out to just shy of the 44-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 1 as he picks up 9 yards on the play. And you can see from Schrader as he looks to the sideline the way that the sun sets over the left corner of the Coliseum, that if he throws to the left side, he is looking right into the sun. A comparison of numbers.
Impressive on the part of Humphries. 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. First half still isn't over. Yeah, he's got that game. Not to shave on game days. But if he's going to go 10 for 14, 136 and 2 touchdowns, he can grow beer, I'm sure, for all Audie Ross cares.
And here is Dickerson. And if they get the spot, they may have their first down of the ball game. They're going to mark it at the 45-yard line, and that's what the cheer is for.
The very mock cheer that I'm sure that man Art Shell doesn't appreciate. Everybody here in the stands looking up at the scoreboard, seeing the big 0. There you see the differential in first downs, 10-1. They've been looking at a 10-0 differential, and there they get the raspberry, the mock cheer for the initial first down.
Willie Gault comes across in motion. Schrader goes to the right side, and the pass is complete to Tim Brown. And they're going to mark him out near the 50-yard line.
Tim Brown, leading receiver for the Raiders, coming into the game with only 38 catches, but he does have 5 scores. Just a quick hitch route. Actually, a good job by Gil Bird. Tim Brown, one of the best open field runners, but Bird doesn't give him any chance at all.
Why was Bird so far off the play?
Respecting his speed. Got to give him credit for closing. Being that far off the play, it was amazing. It was only a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, and Willie said at 32. Willie Gault that he said at 32. He feels he's as quick as he was at 23.
Oh, I think that too myself. That doesn't mean it's real.
Was quoting him.
Okay.
Didn't bring it up for discussion.
It was rhetorical. My mistake.
Schrader, right side, pass is complete to Tim Brown. They have found a little opening, and he goes back to the well again. Was spotted at the 45-yard line of San Diego, and it's the 2nd first down in the ball game for the Raiders.
Similar route. Tim Brown just settles down outside. The Chargers in his zone defense. Actually a pretty generous spot there if you think about it, but Gil Bird once again in on the tackle. Timmy Brown, Pro Bowler twice as a kick returner. Former Heisman Trophy winner 1987 for Notre Dame.
And a first down at the Chargers 45-yard line. Schrader to Eric Dickerson. Slipping and sliding. And he is amazing. He is truly amazing. Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and a little here and a step there and a move here and a hip and a head move and a shoulder. He's got 6 or 7 yards.
I pulled him aside in the locker room yesterday. I said, hey, Dick, I said, have you lost anything? He said, Todd, no, I haven't lost anything. He said, in the past, I'm the guy that always was guaranteed 20 to 30 carries a game. In this offense, it hasn't happened. He told me that he said that if he would have had the number of carries he's had in the past, he could still put up numbers like 14 or 1,500 yards.
Still the only man this year in the National Football League to gain more than 100 yards rushing against the San Diego Charger defense. Play action fake. Schrader has pressure, slips the pressure. Scrambles with the ball. Keeps going to the 30. Oh, he is decked at the 30-yard line. Woo! Was that Floyd Fields that hit him?
He took a shot from Floyd Fields. Jay Schrader coming into the league was a 4.65 40. Now some 3 knee surgeries later, he's not quite that, but he does a good job of shrugging off the hands. Can't slide here. Looks upfield. Number 26 says, well, if you're not going to slide, you're going to pay the price. Here it is coming at you. Watch number 26 heading for number 10. Pow. Take that.
Meanwhile, Reggie McElroy, the right tackle, comes limping off of the field for the Raiders. It's a first down to the San Diego 30-yard line. And somebody misread the route. Flag is down. Dickerson was down the right side. I think that Jay thought he was going to cut it off and come back.
I think they're going to have a little defensive holding. Looked to me that when he went a man covers, a Junior Seau had a hold of Dickerson downfield, but evidently Dickerson moved upfield a little bit too quick in motion. These patented goggles.
Illegal formation. No man on the right end of the line. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Eric Dickerson has made those goggles as famous in football, I guess you could argue, that as Kareem did in basketball.
No question.
His signature look. He puts on more pads than any running back I've ever seen. Back pads, elbow pads.
Seconds. That is the time remaining in the first half. The Chargers on top 20 to nothing. Flag is down. Schrader's pass is complete to Tim Brown. If the play stands, he will pick up the first down to the 20-yard line, but there was a marker back at the 40.
Tough being a cameraman, but it's going to come back for holding. I watched Reggie McElroy already walking back another 10 yards. I don't know if it was him, but he knew right away that the play wasn't going to count.
But the good news is that McElroy's back in the ball game.
Offense number 65, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's on Max Montoya.
Veteran of the offensive line, 36 years of age. Max, former Pro Bowler with the Cincinnati Bengals, shakes his head no, but they never say they hold, right?
Never.
I never held. I know that. Watch number 65, Blaze winner on the 360 right here. You can see, look at him pull down. Right. Oh, you got to call that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too tough.
A fistful of jersey. 2-minute warning. Chargers leading. Not clear up. He will clear it out.
And maybe a reprisal of Costas Chronicles? Or?
Pick one, Dave!
Always a possibility.
Okay.
First down and 25. The ball at the 45-yard line. This one is intercepted by Gil Bird. Off of the hands of Tim Brown. San Diego hits the ball.
Good play call, good play action, well executed, but the ball goes just to the right. And watch the catch by Gil Bird. He one-hands this. Tim Brown settles down on the hook area. The ball's going to be just a little bit off. Take a look at that. He falls out and still comes up with a one-handed catch. Gil Bird over the last 5 years, more interceptions than any cornerback, active cornerback in the National Football League. And
that is his 4th of this year.
And if you think there's a man that doesn't want the playoffs, that man right there, Gil Bird, a rookie with the Chargers in 1983, he has had a 10-year drought in terms of postseason. He says, just for once, I don't want to watch on television. I want to be a part of it.
There's Ronnie Harmon. He just stops in the hole, kind of looks around, still picks up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Long and Moss with the tackle. Let's go it for 5 and mark it 2nd down and 5.
Talk about the number of people on the Chargers who have playoff experience. Not a whole lot of them. See Blaylock and Brennan with the Browns, all with other teams. Delton Hall with the Steelers. Get a chance to look at that again after this play.
Derek Walker on the receiving end of the Stan Humphries pass. And San Diego will take a timeout to stop the clock.
Make the point here as you see to the right that under that team you don't see Chargers. All with the
Well,
this guy's so big now in town. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago.
cheer him on.
Well, you know what the best part of that is? Bowl of jambalaya, little crawfish as you're watching. I mean, Stan's doing well and the Chargers are everything. Man, all of a sudden Cajun food sounds awfully good.
You can put it in perspective. 1st down. And here is Harmon. And this time he's going to be stopped for a loss at the 38-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and around 12 yards to go for the 1st down. Hurry up offense for San Diego. Last 4 ball games, Chargers have been able to score with their 2-minute offense in the last 2 minutes of the 1st half. Incomplete.
Bell coming on the blitz. I don't know what the offensive set was there, but they had nobody.
No.
And Humphries, that was definite intentional grounding, but he got away with it because it was within the vicinity. Watch number 59, Anthony Bell. Just nobody touches him, and he just gets rid of that ball, knowing that Harmon is with an out route. Once again, you know, you and I have we've discussed this ad nauseum, but in terms of intentional grounding, is there any doubt? You knew he was throwing that ball away.
Of course.
But he gets away with it.
3rd down and 12. Humphries with good protection. This one is pulled down by Nate Lawrence. And a 1st down for San Diego inside the Raiders' 20-yard line. Kansas City lost. He said he thought that would be a lift. Bobby Ross said he didn't have that feeling at all.
Oh, you know, we mentioned at the outset, Charlie, the fact that a lot of AFC teams did not take the opportunity to grab their chance by the throat. So far, it looks like San Diego's strangling theirs.
Not only are they grabbing their chance by the throat, as Sean Jefferson couldn't hold on to it, they're grabbing the Raiders by the throat.
Well, Stan Humphries, this is really a nice throw. Jefferson's got to come up with this ball. Great protection by the offensive line. He just throws a dart in there.
Oh, right between the numbers.
You got to catch that. I don't know if Stan Humphries has ever been hotter. He's got it all working right there. Jefferson comes out of the break. Actually, not bad coverage by Dorn. Hits him right on the 0, and he can't come up with it.
And excellent protection, as you mentioned, from that offensive line. Barry Swain says my quarterback wants to play with the big boys. Right side. That is Ronnie Harmon, and he just one-hands it, pulls it down.
By Aaron Wallace.
Looked like he landed on his foot a little bit awkward, but I guess he's going to be all right. He's going to limp off number 33. It put a terrific move on Aaron Wallace. I just don't know, man-for-man coverage. Number 51, there's just no way that he can stay with number 33. The burst into the flat. Now watch him cut upfield. Man, the one-handed catch. Those who happened to watch this game when the Chargers played the Raiders earlier in the season on a Sunday night game, he made a similar catch that went for about a 45-yard gain. And it gets to the point to now where the Charger players don't even think it was a big deal. He says that's what Ronnie does.
1st down, goal to go, 7-yard line. A play action fake to Butts. All the time in the world. Should have been caught. Dwayne Young, the tight end, who has not scored a touchdown this year, let it slip away.
Oh, his chance, his moment. His one shining moment. There it was. 87, primarily a blocker. Now there's so much time, he just falls off the line of scrimmage. Nobody is there. Fades to the right. That vertical jump isn't going to make anybody forget Dominique Wilkins, is it? Take a look as he tries to get up in the air for the ball. 260-pounder couldn't hold on to it.
And that offensive line is giving him all the time in the world.
I'm very surprised at that. I am. Anthony Smith, Broughton, Howie Long, just not putting the pressure on.
2nd down, goal to go. Now here's the pressure from the backside, gets the pass off, and it is incomplete. Nate Lewis, the intended receiver, line.
Fieldman coming back.
15 seconds. Interesting call here. Third down, goal to go. They go for the field goal attempt here. The reason, in case you make a mistake, in case there's a bad snap, then you can down the ball. You have time to get it off again.
Yeah, but still, Charlie, you got to figure that you can trust him because you've been practicing this so often. I'm surprised that they don't at least throw one into the end zone with 15 seconds. Incomplete. They come back and kick the field goal.
25-yard attempt is up, and it is good. And San Diego now has stretched the margin to 23-0. And you ask some of the Charger backers, you say, you know, what's the big rivalry? They'll say, the Raiders. But they don't know it. I'm not sure the Raiders look on the rivalry the same way as they do in San Diego.
They will after today.
Oh, there's no question about that. Nick Bell is the return man. 4 seconds left in the first half.
Before the game, he really wanted to win this game. It wasn't a matter of playing out the string or letting young people get in. He wants to win. That's what he's about. And he can't be very happy with what he's seen here in the first half.
Now the Chargers dropping 3 in the secondary on 45 yards downfield. Schrader unloads it. And it is incomplete as the first half comes to a close. And hold it. Schrader is down at the 28-yard line.
Leslie O'Neal came in from the backside, and it didn't look like that big of a hit. He threw him down, but he might have landed on his elbow. He's up.
He is up, but he's not swinging that right arm. So at the half, it is Chargers 23 and Raiders nothing. The Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime report after kickoff to open the second half. So an opportunity to move on offense, and that is something they've had the opportunity in the first half, but they did it only one time. That is move on offense. Only one time in San Diego territory.
Well, they look lethargic, and in truth, this game certainly means a whale of a lot more to the Chargers than it does the Raiders, and thus far, that's how it's shaped up.
John Carney with 3 field goals, kicking off to either Alexander Wright or Napoleon McCallum. And this will be down in the end zone for the touchback. And the Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line, first down.
Little futility on the part of the Raiders. You can see 3 punts and interception at halftime. They just didn't get anything generated. Only 3 first downs to 13 of San Diego's. Certainly a lot of that has been the Charger defense, but the Raiders just have been ineffective.
And Jay Schrader, that you saw, took that hit right at the end of the first half. He is out to start the second half. Only 4 of 9 for 25 yards and that 1 interception in the first half. And he comes out throwing. And it is behind Eric Dickerson. It'll be second down and 10. Jay told me something yesterday. You played here in the Coliseum, and the reaction of the fans in Los Angeles. He said, I feel sorry for teammates of mine who've never played for another team to know what it is like to have the fan or the hometown involvement. Said here, because of the construction of the Coliseum with the track around it, the fans are away from us, and they just kind of sit back and wait to be entertained, and they are not involved like, for example, they are with the Washington Redskins or with the San Diego Chargers.
Well, having been here, Charlie, my contention has always been, as Willie Gault isn't able to come up with that one, good play by Tony Blaylock, is that Los Angeles is an entertainment town. Those towns that you mentioned are sports towns. They're very much intimately involved with their players and with management.
Denver, Seattle, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
You go back to Buffalo or Washington or Philadelphia, I mean, these
Chicago,
people are intense.
yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they live and die with their teams. Here
Cleveland
in Los Angeles,
Browns. Ooh.
there's so many other things to do. You know, you can go to the beach, you go to the shows. It's television movie capital, and so unless you're winning, it's really a tough sell.
Third down and 10. And it is incomplete, almost intercepted. So the Raiders start off with a futile second half, the same way they did the first half, 3 and out.
Well, it's easy to boo Jay Schrader, but in reality, the routes that were run were not good. Willie Gault could have come up with that catch. Even if Marcus Allen makes that catch there, it's a little bit too short of the first down. And the protection is broken down a little bit. Greg Skripanek now at left tackle is facing Leslie O'Neal, and they have to keep people into double team. And once again, the Raiders just Very ineffective.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking to Nate Lewis. There's pressure. He gets it away. Lewis takes it at the 35. Makes a couple of nice moves. And will be dropped around the 42-yard line by Napoleon McCallum. 45 yards on the kick. A 7-yard return. San Diego on offense for the first time in the second half. Indianapolis defeats Phoenix and Cincinnati over New England. That is the action today. And here the Chargers are leading the Raiders 23-0 as Marion Butts is dropped by Winston Moss.
Sets up a big AFC game next week in the Astrodome. Buffalo at Houston. That'll be something to watch.
Loss of 1 yard. 2nd and 11 from the 40.
And all of the playoff spots, well, you're going to have to wait if you're an AFC fan the next Sunday night until the end of that ballgame to find out who is playing whom and where. And here is Marion Butts. And he is going to ramble to the 48-yard line. The report on Rod Bernstein, the x-rays were negative, but he does have a... Sandy, of course, still with 3 running backs, Marion Butts, Eric Bieniemy, and Ronnie Harmon. Humphries a little swing right side. And Greg Townsend makes the defensive play. Harmon, the intended receiver. It'll be 4th down. And John Kidd, one of the loneliest men in the world, is going to be punting for the first time.
Ronnie Harmon cuts across. He lines up on the left side, cuts completely across the field, and Greg Townsend right at the last minute reads it. Just misses picking that ball up. Nothing but grass ahead of him, too. Ends up playing the part of Townsend.
So John Kidd will be kicking to Tim Brown. Is this a problem here? He's going to look right in the sun.
It's a problem being down 23-zip.
Bigger problem.
Bigger problem.
Of the two. Pressure, he gets it away, and he is dropped. There is no flag. They say he was blocked into the kicker. And Tim Brown returns out of bounds. 39 yards in the kick, a 12-yard return. Chargers out in front, 23-0. It's the entertainment capital of the world, as you can tell by the background of the billboards. Raiders first down their own 25-yard line. Chargers out in front, 23-0, with 12:57 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Dickerson in motion. Schrader goes long, and it's incomplete. Willie Gault, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Good news this week on Fred Biletnikoff, the receivers coach for the Los Angeles Raiders.
Well, before we mention that prostate cancer surgery, he's back with the team. Willie Gault gets behind, but the ball's underthrown just a little bit. Gault comes back, unable to get it. Fields almost with the interception.
Fred was out at practice for a couple of times, a couple of days this week, and also looked at some film footage. We've got a quarterback change.
You know what? I got to tell you something. I don't like that. That's Bush League. That's Bush League. If you're gonna change the guy up, change him up. That makes Schrader look bad. I don't appreciate that at all.
Dickerson, the ball carrier, and he's out to the 28-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and around 7 to go for the first down.
See, now this man, you put the onus upon him as if it's all his fault. You know, and that's not fair. The runners aren't going well. The offensive line isn't playing particularly well. The defense has stopped absolutely nobody. And so in the middle of the play, you take him out and make him look like he's the reason that the problems are there, that it's Jay Schrader's fault. That's not fair. I don't appreciate that. That's Bush League on the part of the Raiders.
And Jay told me that he felt they did the same thing to him last Monday night. We have a medical report that the Raiders say Schrader now has a numbness in his shoulder, and that is from the hit that he received at the end of the first half. And this pass is too tall. It'll be 4th down.
Well, so wait a minute. So why did he play the first 2 series then if he had the numbness in his shoulder? Gee, all of a sudden they discovered it on that one throw?
I'm just relating the message.
Okay, no.
Don't
I'm
shoot
just
the messenger.
All right, I'm
told
just
you
having
before.
a reaction here. I mean, that makes him look bad.
I'm not disagreeing with
you know, here's a guy, veteran player. He's played in a Super Bowl, for goodness sakes. Quality guy. They gave up a first-round pick and arguably the best offensive lineman in football, in Jim Lachey, for the man. And you treat him like this? I don't think so.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking.
He's earning his keep today. How many punts is this for Gossett?
I know this will be his fifth, yes.
Not a bad average.
And the Raiders short a man. And they get the snap off, the kickoff. Nate Lewis was gambling. 39 yards, no return. Sam Grady was right there. San Diego up 23-0. And this is Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen. Stan Humphries leading the San Diego Chargers to a 23-0 lead over the Raiders. The givers to Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon is going to be ridden out of bounds by Ronnie Lott. It'll be second down.
See him talking to Harmon there, Ronnie Lott. He's still going at it. He's a consummate professional. He's got a lot of pride. Down 23-0. Why bother, Ronnie? Why don't you get a substitute? I don't think so. I'm going to prove myself. This is still important to me. I like that.
Second down and 8.
A guy like that is good on the club, not just because he can play, but his example to others as well.
Marion Butts and Ronnie Harmon are in the backfield.
Some rumor about the fact that he wanted to go back to San Francisco and play again. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the offseason.
Harmon, and he is collared at the 40-yard line by Ronnie Lott.
Well, once again, they get into the same conversation. One of the surest tacklers in National Football League history. Just a hitch route for number 33. Coming back earlier, remember that he made the 360 move and fooled Ronnie Lott. This time he says, I'm not buying any of that.
Ronnie Harmon had an interesting comment to us. He said, and he looked right at you, he said, it is rough in the paint. And I don't talk about it, and if you haven't played in the paint, you don't know how rough it is.
Well, I lived in the paint. I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about catching the ball between the hash marks. And so that was one of the few times that he opened up and talked, wasn't it?
Yes. Humphries deep over the middle. Lewis, he is down. They're going to rule it incomplete. Lewis is hurt. He was nailed. And flags are going to, taunting is going to be called against the Raiders. That is a taunting call on Eddie Anderson.
That's foolish.
And that's a good call.
It's foolish. I'm not saying it's not a good call, but it's a foolish move on the part of Eddie Anderson.
Yes, you're right.
Once again, Jerry Bergman's the man that comes in and throws the flag. Number 17, not the most popular guy with the Raiders here. And sportsmanlike conduct, obviously, on Eddie Anderson, as you mentioned. Take a look at the hit. Nate Lewis comes across, and Eddie Anderson makes him pay for it. Legal hit, pow, right there.
Defense, number 33, taunting after the play. 15-yard penalty, first down.
You know, one of the things, this may seem silly, Charlie, but one of the things I try and teach my kids as we see him take the shot here, isn't success the best revenge?
Yes.
Why now do I have to sit here and talk to him about it? You're down. What's that about? Why? Out cold. Count him out 3 times? That's foolish. That's so immature. That's not called for. The flag gets, yeah, that's great. Now it's a play later and they get a first down. That's foolish. That's not intelligent football.
So the ball marked at the 44-yard line of the Raiders. First down, San Diego. Miscue on the snap.
This is really starting to get ugly. This is sad to watch. It just is. I don't. You know, the game is the thing here.
Defense, offside, number 74, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You're down 41-10. What are you bragging about?
Humphries to throw. And he drills it at the 30-yard, incomplete. Anthony Miller, the intended receiver, and his former teammate Terry McDaniel. They played collegiate ball for 2 years together at Tennessee, is the man who was there for the Raiders.
Good coverage by McDaniel. It's a tough catch for Miller. The ball thrown a little bit low and outside. Tries to squat down and get it, but it snuck through. Tries to fool him by getting up, but a little late for that.
Second Butts is going to pick up about 3 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and short. They may only mark it for 2.
I'm reminded a little bit, Charlie, of a game that we had here about a month ago when we had Seattle and the Raiders. And we watched the Raiders in command. The other team couldn't do anything. We watched number 99, Cortez Kennedy, continue to be all over the field. I'm reminded of this because of Ronnie Lott. In on the tackle again. Continuing to cover people, continuing to go all out over the field. Don't bother me with what the score is. This is what I'm about. 33 years of age. If there's anybody who has emeritus status who could pull himself out, it'd be that guy. He's not.
John Jefferson coming in motion. The pass is to Jefferson, and he is decked by Lott. Lott hits him.
But here's the difference. Look at the difference. Does Ronnie Lott do anything? Does he jump up and down? Does he taunt? Does he say he's out cold? No. He makes the hit and he shakes some hands. He knows what the score is.
And we're going to watch this in full speed.
Look at that. No posturing. I mean, the man knows that he's there. He knows what he's about.
And back to what Ronnie Harmon said, it's rough in the paint.
That's exactly right. That's where you earn your keep.
First down, 27-yard line.
And again, one of the things there, one of the reasons why Ronnie's not styling too is the guy did make the catch.
And he held on to it. Exactly. He takes the hit, he holds on to it. Sean Jefferson. First down, San Diego. To the 20 and will be down at the 20-yard line. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Aaron Wallace brings him down.
It's a good opportunity for the San Diego Chargers to reestablish.
2nd down and 3. And here is Butts. And it'll be close to the first down. May come up a bit shy. It'll be 3rd down and short, the original look. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Gee, so who made the tackle? What a surprise.
Ronnie Lott. And the change will come out for the measurement. The only thing that he has missed this week was the meeting with us.
Well, he missed Ronnie Harmon earlier, remember, on that one.
That's right. Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. But he was going to come in, and then he got caught in a time bind and had to leave. Sorry that we didn't get a chance to visit with him.
Well, if he's going to play like this, then that's okay. He's putting on a good show. He really is.
And just as you see, a smidgen. It'll be 3rd down and a smidgen. By a score of 7-3. A little closer contest than this. Seattle currently has the ball. Right now, San Diego has the ball. There's 2 inches for the first down. Time remaining in the 3rd quarter, and San Diego is out in front by a score of 23-0. And Kingdom. And again, San Diego with an 0-4 start. If they win today, they'll be in the playoffs. First time in history that an NFL team has started 0-4 and made the playoffs. If they win here and go on and win in Seattle, they will win the divisional title. First time in more than a decade. And when we asked Stan Humphries, what is the difference? Where was the turning point? Stan Humphries said it was the Indianapolis game. We started clicking, and the guys all...
Because actually the Colt games are pivotal in 2 ways. The first Colt game for the offense, as you mentioned, in their 31-14 victory, and the second Colt game that they had in San Diego, when they defeated the Colts by a 26-0 count, was when they established themselves defensively with that big shutout, and the confidence has just been building since then.
I would imagine that here be content to go ahead and run the ball and use up as much time as possible on the clock. Just cut down any opportunity the Raiders might have of getting back in the ball game.
Well, again, I think they're genuinely concerned about that running. The statistic that I mentioned earlier, 63% of the yardage has come through the air. I think they very much want to know that they can run the ball as well as throw.
So they come right back there. In reality, he was throwing this away. Anthony Miller was well covered in the end zone. And again, most of you will have an opportunity, as we'll be switching away right after this Charger possession, to the Seattle-Denver game, Mile High Stadium. John Elway, of course, with his comeback off of injury. The Seahawks have the ball. They are currently in Bronco territory, and you'll be going there momentarily.
So what do you... do you think it's wisdom to put John Elway in? Do you really?
Sure, they can win today and win next week. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, as a visiting wild card team, what do you want to risk his future over something like that?
You're in the playoffs. That's what it's all about. Oh, you know what? I'm sure John wanted to be. Here's Humphries. In zone. That is dropped. Nate Lewis, it was right. He's already scored one touchdown. He had this one, and it was there, and he couldn't. And remember, that's the third time the Chargers have dropped a ball in the end zone.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, how much more wide open can he be? That's one that Nate Lewis is going to regret for a while. This is easy money. Just catch the ball, comes off the head, just can't hold on to it. Look at the reaction of Humphries here, how disappointed he is. What do you, hey, man, look, I got to get some Oh, come on. What do I have to do, hand it to you?
And remember, let me finish what Harry Swain said earlier about him, that Stan wants to hang out with the big boys. Says, we let him buy dinner for us.
Yeah, no kidding. Quarterbacks pick up a lot of tabs, but then again, they can afford to.
They certainly can. 28-yard field goal attempt by John Carney, who is 3 for 3, now 4 for 4 in the ball game. The Chargers are on top, 26-0. And 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The San Diego Chargers have the Raiders well in hand here. So we're going to switch you now to Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Seattle-Denver game. Jim Lampley and Dan Hampton. And while that switch was going on for part of the country, the rest of you will stay here as John Carney's kickoff is in the end zone. That is Sam Grady, the speedster, who is downing it in the end zone. Alexander Wright and Sam Grady with the return. Well, there's a lot of speed there, but they will take the touchback and bring it out to the 20-yard line. See if the Raiders can get something going behind quarterback Vince Evans.
Vince Evans, 37 years of age, rookie in 1977. Of course, you remember him with the Bears. He was the one whose position was usurped by Jim McMahon. Went on and played for the Chicago Fire, and then during the strike season of 1987 crossed the picket line, and since that time has been a member of the Los Angeles Raiders on and off.
And of course, very comfortable here in the Coliseum as the home field for the University of Southern California project.
Well, maybe not. That was a long time ago. Maybe
not that far ago. I can remember. Yes, I can remember Methuselah too. That does no help. And it is incomplete. Willie Galt, the intended receiver. It'll be second down and 10.
Vince has always contended that if it afforded his opportunity, he felt that he could really lead this team. He has a career, however, under 50% and more interceptions than touchdowns. But during his Bear days, you know, he was known more for handing off to Walter Payton and do a little running of his own. You recall number 8 used to be all over the field. That was his number there with the Bears. Great scrambler.
Second down and 10. He hands off to Steve Smith, and he is dropped by George Thornton. Blaze Winter also there. Congratulations all around.
Have tape will travel. Blaze Winter with his own videotape breaks through on Max Montoya and makes the play on Steve Smith deep in the backfield.
And for those of you that are not familiar with the story of Blaze Winter,
he was a man who was cut by two not exactly glorious teams of the time, the Green Bay Packers and the Indianapolis Colts, but he felt like he could still play. So he put together his own videotape, traveled around, and obviously impressed the Chargers. And the Chargers, likewise, have had, I'd say, remuneration. The man's played very well.
He certainly has. He and his wife were knocking door to door. Pass is incomplete, far side. Alexander Wright, the intended receiver. So it will be 3 and out once again for the Raiders.
You got to feel bad for Vince Evans here. You can see the look on his face. The guy didn't come back to the ball. People are quitting on him. They're just not trying that hard. Vince throws out. Look at this. And again, Alexander Wright, a sprinter, needs to come back to the ball, not run parallel to the sideline. That doesn't help Vince Evans at all.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking. Brian Brennan is the return man now for the San Diego Chargers, and first time that he has returned for San Diego.
Hey, Lewis obviously still shook up by that hit he took.
Fair catch is called for, and he takes it at the 45-yard line. 5 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the third. A 39-yard kick. Back in a moment. Lewis, and the report on Nate, he has a low-grade concussion.
That's what, CD?
It doesn't hurt as much as a high grade.
As an A, yeah, okay.
Eric Bieniemy gets the call, and that's not to make fun of him because he did get me.
No, he did.
Oh, yes.
He doesn't. Look at the big breath he took there with the eyes closed. You're right.
Yeah. Second down and 9.
You know, besides the big touchdown catch the out of the post, he is also doing an outstanding job of punt returning today.
Yeah.
Setting the Chargers up in some very good field position. And he can afford the luxury of smiling based on what he's done today.
Second down and 9. Humphries to throw. Nice little touch pass, a little too top for Brian Brennan. Torin Doran had the coverage. It'll be third down and 9. The ball back at the 46-yard. Third down and 9. And we have flags flying.
False start. Offense, number 77 before the snap. 5 yards.
To this point, have reached the playoffs. But with a win here, the Chargers are guaranteed to be in the playoffs, and a win next week to go with it at Seattle. We are the division champion.
The most impressive thing about it, at least as far as I can tell, I mean, and I genuinely mean this, is that inevitably when things aren't successful, you go through the motions of just doing all sorts of different things, changing things up. But that man right there, Bobby Ross, stayed the course. He said, look, we know that what we've got is going to work. He knew that he had a quarterback who, Alex Spanos, of course, ecstatic over the success of the team. We knew we had a new quarterback with a new system. We played some difficult teams early on. We knew that we had some things going if we could keep it together.
John Kidd bobbles the snap. It was low. Couldn't get it off. And the Raiders will take over without question, their best field position to start any kind of a drive.
Well, Sam Ano, this is what he does. That's what he's in there. It is a little bit low, but I think that's a catchable ball. Of course, that's coming from an old snapper. John Kidd couldn't come up with it, and the result is, as you mentioned, the Raiders are going to have good field position. Watch how low it is. Yeah, doesn't have that Ozzie Smith skill of getting that short hop, I guess. Raider ball now at the 27. There's Sam Ano, the snapper for the Chargers, not too happy with himself. But again, as I say, that was catchable.
Vince Evans, the quarterback. Tim Brown goes in motion. And there's Eric Dickerson, and there's nothing there. He may give him a yard, and it'll be second down and 9. And I'm confused by that call. Why don't you go to the end zone and try and score some points?
You and I have broadcast enough to know you know my theory on that. Once you get the momentum going your way on a big play like a punt recovery, why do you hand off to the tailback in the middle of the field? Play action pass, go the distance, go with an up, try a corner post, do something different.
Eric Dickerson, the only running back in the National Football League to rush for more than 100 yards against the Chargers. Last time they played, 103. 6 carries, 12 yards.
Well, Junior took it personal, just like you said.
He said. Evans to throw over the middle. It is tipped, almost intercepted. Henry Rolling almost picked it off on the rebound. Tim Brown, the intended receiver. It'll be third down and 9.
Catchable ball, maybe a little bit too far. Vince Evans, good protection. Throws the ball over the middle. Tim Brown can't hang on. Kind of like the Morton Salt Lady. When it rains, it pours. Henry Rolling, solid outside backer for the San Diego Chargers. Calls some signals there. He doesn't get as much attention as Junior Seau, Leslie O'Neal, or some of the others, but he's a solid player. Nate Lewis opting for the ice quaff.
Evans scrambles. And he's going to pick up the first down. He said, if they're not going to help me, I'm going to do it myself.
I tell you what, those 37-year-old legs are looking pretty swift. He was moving. No way in this opportunity are you going to get Vince Evans to slide. He cuts up field there. Now he sees the opening, makes a little bit. Ooh,
that's pretty nice little move.
Very Peyton-esque there.
Yeah.
Slides forward to the 17-yard line. First down for the Raiders. Nice move, Vince. Oh, I did. Oh, by the way, I worked out with Vince Evans this offseason. I did. I went out there and caught a couple of his passes.
Are they easy to catch or hard to catch?
He's got a great arm.
Good touch?
Not particularly.
Heavy ball?
A little inaccurate. Nice guy, though.
Evans is wrapped picked up from behind by Leslie O'Neal. Came right over the top.
And for Leslie O'Neal, that is his 16th sack to lead the AFC. But you know what? While we're going to see the sack, we got to give a little credit here that I did not earlier to number 78, Greg Skripanek, who is in for an injured Wilkerson. And up to this point, he's really done a pretty good job on him. And that really wasn't that bad. That was about a 3.5, 4-second drop. That's a coverage sack, but it does go up for the numbers of O'Neal. As I mentioned, 16th.
5 yards on the sack.
He now just passed Gary Big Hands Johnson as the all-time sack leader with 67.5. This is a man who came back after reconstructive knee surgery. 2 years it took him to get back. And when he did get back, it was at a Pro Bowl performance. And I would guess leading the AFC in sacks would probably guarantee you a trip to Hawaii, wouldn't you, Charlie?
I would hope so. Second down and 15. Dickerson, and he is wrapped up by Floyd Fields. And it will be third down.
Gain of 1 yard.
Well, you said that he liked
remaining here in the third quarter.
Once again, the cheer up for Marcus Allen.
Third down back. And as Art Shell told us, you know, in the third down short yardage situations, he will be there, and he has been.
Glad to see that. I appreciate, yeah, and I'm sure Marcus does too, for the years and the things that he did.
Third down and 13.
Get the ball, Marcus! Get the ball, Marcus!
Evans fires in zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Alexander Wright, 21 yards, his first touchdown of the year.
Well, even though if Al Davis leaves, I'd have to say this is a great play by Vince Evans. It's just a slant route, post into the end zone, right with the outside move. Gil Bird, really not that bad at coverage. Take a look at the shot that Vince Evans takes, though, and throws the ball right on the money. Take a look. Number 11 comes. They came with a strong safety blitz. That's Floyd Fields right in his face.
27 yards on the drive. They start, of course, with the bobble punt attempt by San Diego. Fager with the extra point, and it is good. The score, San Diego 26, Raiders 7, back with a kick.
The town of the AFC West.
Anthony Miller is the deep back on the kickoff return for San Diego, and Nate Lewis out, and he's out across the 30 to 35-yard line. Anthony, you may be back there again. Smile on the face, 31 yards on the return.
If he heard you say that, he'd say no. No, sir.
Isn't it interesting though, when you're winning, and now you're almost in the playoffs, and you can win the championship. It's fun to return kickoffs all of a sudden.
And you know what? A Sunday night game against the Raiders 3 years ago, 1989 season, Anthony Miller ran back a kickoff for a touchdown about 100 yards, and that solidified their victory, a 17-14 count over the Raiders at Jack Murphy.
San Diego leading here 26-7 with 1:28 left to go in the third. And a first down at their own 37-yard line. And he is pulled down at the line of scrimmage by Ronnie Lott. Call it second down and 10.
You know what? I wanted to make a point there, Charlie, with regards to that Redskin promotion. Talk about a guy that can't win, Mark Rippon. Last year, he's a Super Bowl MVP, leads them to the championship, and what do they say? Well, a great supporting cast just proves that you can win with an average quarterback. Now this year the team is struggling, and it's all Rippon's fault because he got $3 million and he held out in training camp. That's a rough gig, man.
And there are those who say that they traded the wrong quarterback. Stan Humphries now with the Chargers, formerly with the Redskins. And he is having an excellent year. Ronnie Harmon is going to pick up the first down as he will go to the 49-yard line. Anthony Smith with the tackle.
Number 75, Howie Long. Many feel like had been playing at Pro Bowl level this year. Taking consideration for him trying to break through both David Richards and Broderick Thompson. He grabs at air, though. Of course, he's not the first one to miss Ronnie Harmon. Nor will he be the last.
That's true. That is true.
32 years of age, Howie Long, 8 sacks this season.
And we'll take the countdown to the end of the third quarter. And after 3-2, soon to be 3-0.
That's the magic phrase, what he calls winning time. And that's December in the National Football League.
Flag is down. Harmon to the outside. And we'll go back and check out the marker as Ronnie goes out of bounds just shy of the 42-yard line with Eddie Anderson in pursuit. It will go against San Diego. San Diego has played almost error-free ball today. They haven't made many mistakes.
No, that's right. They're not beating themselves.
And offense, number 70, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
On Mike Zandowski. So take it back to the 39-yard line. It'll be first down and 20. That is the first major penalty against San Diego in the ballgame. Now a chance for you to check out the 10-minute ticker. A look at all of the scores. Buffalo and New Orleans, of course, both have already clinched the playoff berth. Minnesota clinches the divisional title today. Houston can make it with a wild card. Should Denver lose, Cleveland is eliminated in that ball game. Philadelphia clinches a playoff berth. Of course, Washington will host the Raiders next Saturday, and then a run through the rest of the games played earlier today. I tell you, the man is a walking highlight film.
It really is amazing how he got out of there.
He is something else.
And you know, it's funny because he has 160 yards coming into this game for the chance at a 1,000-yard season. And I asked him about that, and I said, "What do you think of that?" He shrugged his shoulders. No big deal.
I don't think
he evades Bell, evades Moss, cuts back upfield, pays the price of Howie Long having a 10-yard run at it, but nice catch.
And you know, you ask you about the offseason. What does he do in the He tries to get better, tries to get better, tries to get better. He said, "That's me.
Yeah,
I'm not big gold chains and all that. I'm a Mickey Mouse watch."
Which is a fancy way of saying it's cheap.
Frugal is another word, though.
Should mention the point here, though, is the reason I made the comparison.
Humphries is sacked at the 40-yard line. Go ahead.
I was about to say the reason I made the comparison of Ronnie Harmon to Thurman Thomas, of course, is because he backed him up in Buffalo before Buffalo let him go as a Plan B free agent. Generating a little bit of pass rush here. Anthony Smith gets off the ball solely. Going to come from the other side. You're going to see Greg Townsend, number 93, not having his best season. Part of the problem is that 280. When he first came into the league, Charlie, back in 1983, he was 245, and he was a pass rush specialist. 100 career sacks. It's a significant milestone there for number 93. Leading sacker for the Raiders the last 5 years.
Third down and 17. Here is Harmon. There's nothing there. And he is wrapped up by the same Greg Townsend. It'll be fourth down. San Diego will be kicking.
Greg had a holdout early in the season. I think that's really affected him. He came in, he was a little bit heavy. They tried to play him right away. He wasn't effective as he had been in the past. But as I mentioned, you know, certainly there will be adjustments in weight during your playing career. But on the professional level at age 22, you come in at 245, and now here he is at 280. I mean, that really can't be a positive.
John Kidd kicks, and Ono is the snapper.
In fact, Al Davis made the point regarding Greg Townsend. He thinks he'd be more effective at around 260.
Good snap, there's pressure, gets it off, good kick. Tim Brown will let it roll past it. It'll be down inside the 5-yard line, all the way to the 2-yard line. Darren Carrington downs it for the Chargers. 56 yards on the kick. We'll be back in a moment. Minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Raiders have possession at their own 2-yard line, and San Diego is out in front 26-7.
Thought you had an interesting comment there at the break. I asked you, I said, you know, this probably isn't that exciting for the fans. You said, not if you're a San Diego fan. They're thrilled.
San Diego fans are loving this ball game. It has been a long, long way. Evans fires over the middle, juggled and then caught. This is Andrew Glover. And he is out to the 24-yard line. Gary Plummer makes the stop. 22 yards on the play.
Andrew Glover from Grambling, 6'6", 2 1/4. They like his pass-catching skills, and here's an opportunity to see what he can do. That's a good job catching it on the second try. Gary Plummer there, man for man. Lester O'Neal, number 91, coming from the backside. The two tight ends side. They double team him, and he still almost gets a hand there on Vince Evans right at the end. Vince Evans is doing a pretty good job.
Looking good. Evans back to throw. Scrambles out to the right. Bides a little time. Pass is complete. Are they going to root it incomplete? No, it's incomplete.
Went through his arms and hit the ground.
Ethan Horton, the intended receiver. Plummer was there.
I mentioned earlier Vince Evans. was a member of the Chicago Bears, and it just so happens that up here in the booth, one of his ex-teammates happens to be here. Mike Adamle, the host of American Gladiators, former I was fortunate enough to work with him. In fact, I carried him for the bulk of the year that I was with him and launched his career.
And whatever happened to that show once you left?
Oh, that show takes off.
Right through the roof.
They got a cult following. You're right. They took off right after I left. Now manned by Mike and Larry Zonka. One of the great special teams players in the National Football League, Mike Adamle. Played with the Jets, Chiefs, and Bears.
And a former broadcast partner of mine. Who is it? That's true. Bert Grossman with the sack. A flag is down, a pushing and shoving contest. And meanwhile, Greg Skrepenick is down at the 15-yard line.
And the cheer went up as Bob Boylston, the umpire, takes his seat.
Personal foul, offsetting penalties. Number 96 on the defense, number 94 on the offense. Penalties offset.
Now, I find that interesting. Earlier, remember, Charlie, in that key sequence when they had the personal foul in the game, people were swinging a lot.
Christmas Day, a special day. On
Dee's lane one. Nobody gave her a snowball's chance in hell of winning the 100 meters. She came out of nowhere with the gold medal. I was excited.
Christmas Day will be reliving all those memories. Junior Seau with the interception. Junior, what are you doing? Look at this move. Oh, he doesn't score. He's going to have every meal count now.
Oh, I tell you what.
He could have scored the touchdown if he hadn't fooled around, but knowing Junior, he'll have more fun fooling around with
Life would be room service for this man. Look at that spike. Man, look at the energy. I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen as creative a run back from a linebacker. There is the middle position. He's going to backpedal into the middle zone, and quite frankly, Vince Evans just doesn't see him. Junior looks over. He's watching Vince Evans' eyes the whole time. Now watch it. Oh, look at him starting. Now I'm going this way. Oh, look at his sweet feet. Look at number 55. Oh, he needs to switch hands, go to left hand now. Reggie McElroy. Oh, just misses the touchdown. After avoiding all those quarterbacks and running backs, he gets tackled by the right tackle. What a happy man that is. You know what I found interesting, besides the obvious of how excited he was, is that he makes no bones about the fact that this is what I'm about. Yeah. Charlie, we've talked to some football players in the past who are kind of full of themselves and act like this is all part of the corporate portfolio. He makes no bones about it. He says, this is what I do.
This is what I do. This is what I am. And I give you, he said, for 6 months, I give you all of Junior Seau.
Fans are telling me to get in the end zone.
But if he would have done that, he would not have been Junior Seau. Eric Bieniemy is the ball carrier. You know what I'd like for them? They're not going to do it. I think you ought to put Junior in and let him run the touchdown.
Well, why not? They have a linebacker at fullback anyway, and Steve Hendrickson who plays
and let him lead the way.
Positions anyway, right?
He can tell Junior what to do. Follow me.
Oh. Ronnie Lott assisting on the top.
Is there anything that man can't do on the football field?
Athletically, is there anything that man can do?
I don't think so. When we were talking to Bill Belichick last week, he said that he was the best player they'd played against by far. He says, I'm not even sure there's anybody close.
And Eric Bieniemy scores the touchdown with an assist to Junior Seau.
Yeah, a giant assist. Eric Bieniemy, former 1,000-yard rusher with the Colorado Buffaloes. Here comes the full speed hit on the goal line. A collision with David Jones there, but you have to say Bieniemy got the best of it because he's in the end zone with 6.
It's now 32-7. Extra point to come from John Carney. 10 minutes, 30 seconds still remaining in the ballgame. And it is good. San Diego 33. Raiders 7 back for the kickoff. Scored in 7 of 10 possessions today. 3 touchdowns and 4 field goals. John Carney with the 4 field goals now has hit 12 in a row. One off of the mark of 13 in a row of Ruff Benershka. And here is Alexander Wright on the return. Through the 20, steps outside, makes a nice move.
Alexander Wright took the kick.
Gary Plummer with the tackle.
One of the great special teams players in the National Football League is number 34 for the Chargers, Steve Hendrickson, not just as a special teams player, but as a specialist. He does so many different things. Watch him get held here by Mike Jones. Oh, no, not really. What's the deal? And then with the hands up. Yeah, right. Steve Hendrickson plays 8 different positions on both offense and defense, and we'll get a chance to show you those positions right after this play.
Raiders at their own 39-yard line. With a first down. And Marcus Allen is the setback on first down. Pass is high but caught as Alexander Wright pulls it down. Donald Frank was there for San Diego.
It'll be a first down.
And we are going to save our notes on Steve Hendrickson, who was carried on the charts on both the offensive and defensive side. As the Raiders now in a hurry-up offense, as soon as we get a little break in the action, we'll update you on that. Incomplete.
34, Steve Hendrickson. Here are the positions that he plays. First on offense, he has played tight end, H-back, running back, and fullback on the goal line. Defensively, he has played defensive end, defensive tackle, inside and outside linebacker. This is a man who, at 5'11", 260 pounds, very interesting physique. Reminds me a little bit of a bigger version of the human bowling ball, Don Nottingham, doesn't he?
In addition, he participates on the special.
Oh, that's 6 foot. That's a reach.
Well,
that's a reach. That's in
that's a tiptoe.
Yeah.
Marcus Allen cuts back. Marcus to the 45, the 40, and down around the 37-yard line. He picks up the first down. Delton Hall with the tackle.
Well, with few remain here in the Coliseum, it's fun to listen to their cheers for number 32, who's given them so many thrills. Screen pass out here to the left. Vince Evans finally gets it off, and Marcus showing a little bit of what he used to do. First the one-handed catch, cuts back against the grain, breaks through the arm tackles, does a good job of getting the first down.
Evans slips out of a possible sack. Here's a little Walter Payton move. Picks up another 2 or 3 yards. Delton Hall again with a tackle. He looks pretty good in the open field, doesn't he?
Well, it's not exactly a Payton move, more like an Adamley move in the middle of the field.
That's Payton in slow motion.
Is that Payton in slow motion? Yeah.
Second down and 4. Incomplete. Bert Grossman was hovering around Vince Evans. It'll be third down.
Bert Grossman hampered by a calf and ankle injury over the last couple of weeks, but people remember 8th overall pick in 1989. His rookie season, he had 10 sacks, and everybody was talking him up. And then over the last couple of years, he had fallen back a little bit. But this year, he's reestablished himself despite the injury. And of course, it helps to have some of the other people. Now, Chris Mims asserting himself, Leslie O'Neal having an All-Pro year.
We documented how the Chargers wanted to shut down Eric Dickerson. Not only did they shut down Eric Dickerson, Vince Evans is the leading Raider rusher with 17 yards rushing in the ballgame. Good catch. Mervin Fernandez, a name that we have not called this afternoon, goes up and pulls it down.
Well, Mervin Fernandez has lost his starting job to Tim Brown earlier in the season. Blitz here. Vince Evans doing a nice job going to the man-for-man coverage. Donald Frank on Fernandez, but not before Evans can get the ball in there.
And a first down at the 18-yard line. We're moving on the 8-minute mark. Time remaining in the ball game. San Diego out in front, 33-7. Fernandez and Brown wide to the near side. Marcus Allen looks for a block from Evans. Gets a little screen block. Cuts back to the 15, the 10, and is hit and stopped at the 5-yard line. 13 yards on the play for Marcus Allen. And stopped 5 yards away from his 99th NFL touchdown. He has 98.
Think back to Super Bowl 18. Remember that off-tackle play where he cut back and went the other direction? Well, certainly this game is not of that magnitude, but this is one of the things that made Marcus Allen famous. Cutting back, makes somebody miss, drives through another guy, still shows the speed and quickness.
First down, goal to go, 5-yard line, touchdown. Tim Brown.
You know what? I know this might be a small thing to some. Vince Evans' second touchdown pass, that's all well and good. But I would have liked to have seen Marcus Allen get that touchdown.
Get 99, yeah.
Just to get that much closer to 100 touchdowns. Maybe not a big thing in a game like this. It's already been decided. You can see all the teammates excited over Marcus Allen. They're happy for him. A couple of SC teammates there hugging. He showed what he can do. He proved that he's a player. He acknowledges the crowd. That's nice. I think it's safe to say that this would be the last home game that Marcus Allen will be playing with the Los Angeles Raiders.
.61 yards in the drive in 8 plays. Extra point is the cheer for Marcus. Marcus goes up. A flag is down at the 2-yard line. A motion call against the Raiders. They'll have to do it again.
Been a lot of great players for the Los Angeles Raiders through the years. 8 Hall of
Legal
Famers.
procedure. Movement, left side of the line, 5-yard penalty, repeat.
But that man right there, I think you could argue that he might have been the greatest player ever to wear the silver and black.
No question.
Rookie of the year, league MVP, league leading rusher, Super Bowl most valuable player. Take a look at the difference here when Marcus Allen was the starter. 56 and 25. Then in 1987, when they started with their coterie of people, started with Bo Jackson, then Greg Bell, then Eric Dickerson and Nick Bell. That's the record. As soon as we can get back to the graphic after the extra point by Jacob. Take another look at the numbers here. Since that time, we're not going to be able to get it up. Well, there we are. 56 and 25. And during that time, since that time, that they decided to make him a part-time back, they played less than 500.
And before the ball game, Marcus Allen was honored.
This is the Pride and Poise Award that the players vote on, and Marcus Allen gets the award. How ironic in this year, particularly over this last week, when he has taken so much abuse from the press, and of course the abuse from this man over the last couple of years, or alleged abuse, I guess is the best way to say it, because I guess no one will ever know. As Charlie Rich used to sing, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. 8,500 yards, all-time leading rusher, over 440 catches. Quite a legacy he's going to leave with this organization. And I know, and of course, if this sounds like I'm singing the praises of this man, it's because I'm not terribly objective, having been a teammate of his for 7 years. I watched a game in New Orleans, Charlie, once where Bo Jackson had 2 carries, went out with a slight hamstring tear. The man had a broken wrist, not a little broken bone. He had a broken wrist, cast almost up to his forearm. He went out 25 carries for 100 yards, caught another 4 passes. I thought, this is a man's man right here.
Raiders now with an onside kick. It's drilled through everybody who goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. And now we will go through the 10-minute ticker. A chance to, in case you happen to join us late, of all the scores, with Buffalo defeating New Orleans, and Buffalo and the Saints already both have clinched playoff berths. Minnesota clinches a division title. Houston can clinch a wild card should Denver lose, and Denver is leading Seattle right now by a score of 10-6. 38 seconds remaining in that ball game. Philadelphia clinches a playoff berth by defeating Washington. Washington will host the Raiders next Saturday. Green Bay defeats the Rams. Green Bay can be a wild card. They must win next week. The Eagles must lose next week. Indianapolis defeats Phoenix. Cincinnati over New England by a score of 20-10. Those are all finals in the early games. In the late game, Denver is leading, as we said, Seattle and the waning moments of that ball game. And Detroit is in front of Chicago by 10, 13-3. And here in the Coliseum, it's San Diego 33 and the Raiders 14 as Eric Bieniemy gets the call.
Just a point here, Charter, with regards to Buffalo. There's a contention that the AFC is not going to put up a competitive representative in the Super Bowl. Now, Buffalo has beaten at their places both San Francisco and New Orleans, arguably the two best teams in the NFC. Beat them at their place.
At their place. You're right.
I mean, to win at the Stick and to win at the Superdome, that's not too easy. And Buffalo's done both in the same season. And that's without Bruce Smith.
Second down, San Diego. Eric Bieniemy. And he will go to the 47-yard line of the Raiders, where it will be third down. Chester McLaughlin making the tackle. And again, San Diego will just take as much time as they possibly can. Let the time run off of the clock. They are comfortably in front by a score of 33-14, and now only 6 minutes and 5 seconds away from making the playoffs. It's almost like taking the countdown to midnight on New Year's Eve. Third down and 3. Humphries has pressure, throws, the pass is complete. Derek Walker down the far sideline as he rambles for 33 yards on the play.
Well, the Raiders were in a complete run mode. They completely fooled him with the misdirection. Walker's going to come across the field. There's absolutely nobody out there.
He is alone, isn't he?
Anthony Miller down there almost gets the block on Terry McDaniel, but McDaniel comes over and makes the tackle.
So spot the ball at the Raider 13-yard line, first down. The Denver game is now a final. Denver defeats Seattle by a score of 10-6. And so the Broncos stay alive for a playoff spot.
Got their work cut out for them next Sunday, though. They have to play in Kansas City.
Eric Bieniemy gets the call. And Seattle, who certainly has been a difficult opponent for many teams, second half of the season, hosting San Diego in their final home game of the season, and the final regular game, final game of the regular season for San Diego. And again, San Diego with a victory here and a victory next week would win the Western Division. Not sure yet if they would have the first weekend off or if they would host a wild card in that scenario should they win the West.
And there's a very patient man right there. Alex Spanos, owner of the Chargers, has waited a long time to get to this point.
I'm not sure everybody would describe Alex as patient. No, I don't think.
All right, let me put it another way. Forced patience. How's that?
Right. Well,
yeah.
What about this? A man who is enjoying this season.
Oh boy, I'll say.
Yes.
I mean, you won't be just see him doing the Tom Benson dances with the parasols, but he is shaking hands and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ball spotted at the 5. He said, still that one game to go against Seattle. We want to win the West.
Well, see, even owners can be cliche. One game at a time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go!
Here's Bieniemy to the 5-yard line. It was third down and 2. It's going to be fourth down and 2.
By Ronnie Lott. No gain. Fourth and 2.
Take no prisoners. Go for the field goal attempt that will tie Rothman-Erska's record. 33-14. The field goal attempt not rubbing it in the face of the Raiders, although the Chargers would like to in this kind of a rivalry. But it's a situation where here is a chance to tie a club record, Rothman-Erska's record of 13 straight field goals, and this would make it 5 of 5 for John Carney in this ball game. And this would be from 23 yards.
They're missing somebody. Didn't have enough people on the field.
So they will take a timeout, stopping the clock with 2:45 left to go. We'll be back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, follow your Los Angeles Raiders professional.
So, what do you think?
You're right. Diet Dr. Pepper does taste more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
This high-performance drink cleans your fuel system to help maintain peak performance. STP gas treatment, the high-performance drink for your car.
You've been a bad boy, Gary. That's going to cost him in the kangaroo court that they have. That would cost him about $100 for not being out there on the special team that he's supposed to. He's the flank, the up back, and that's what they're missing. He's congratulating everybody else and let somebody take his place.
The field goal is good from 23 yards out. John Carney now 5 of 5. That is 13 straight in this ball game. He has hit from 42, 23, 25, 28, and now 23. And the Chargers, to add one more number to that list, lead 36-14 with 2:41 left to go. We have talked about the fact that the Chargers will be at Seattle next Sunday, and should they win next Sunday, they will win the West. Let's look at the complete lineup. Denver at Kansas City. This is the game that you were talking about. John Elway, Kansas City coming off of that tough loss. Cleveland will be at Pittsburgh, Miami at New England, Indianapolis at Cincinnati, and San Diego at Seattle.
You know, that Cleveland-Pittsburgh, even though Cleveland was eliminated, Pittsburgh, of course, was on a great roll during the middle of the season. Now they've come off back-to-back losses in which they haven't played particularly well. They got hammered in Chicago, and then, of course, today was a 6-3 game, so it wasn't exactly offensive fireworks. You know, they've got to regroup.
Chargers in the scoring drive went 49 yards in 7 plays.
Sam Grady, number 85, and Alexander Wright, number 89, are the return men for this man, Art Shell, the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders. And John Carney will be kicking off.
Sam Grady, Alexander Wright back to receive.
Taken at the 17-yard line by Grady. He turns it upfield. And he will be down at the 34-yard line. Here is the playoff picture. The Buffalo Bills, they defeated the Saints, as you said, at the Superdome. Pittsburgh, they lost to the Vikings. San Diego here, we are giving them the win. Miami played the Jets. That's later on today. Kansas City beat the Giants. Oh, the Giants defeated Kansas City.
That should be the other way around.
Should be the other way. They lost to them. Houston beat the Browns in a close one. Indianapolis over the Cardinals.
You know, there's somebody, thinking of which, I mean, Bobby Ross, coach of the year. How about Ted Marchibroda?
Not a bad, yes, good choice.
Not a bad, I mean, considering this.
You know, but they always say they want Indianapolis still in contention.
Right,
you know,
right.
They need a lot of help from other people, but some interesting things can happen in the National Football.
And the state of that franchise, not just the fact they're 87. I mean, that franchise was struggling.
There's a little screen pass right side to Nick Bell. This time that he has had his hands on the football. And he goes out near the 50-yard line. And Carrington gets into a jawing contest with Nick Bell.
A lot of flags come in. Who did the taunting? Obviously a lot of jawing going back and forth here. But I'm content to have it go both sides and proceed. How about you?
2 minutes and 23 seconds. Let's move on.
Unsportsmanlike. Number 29, Tawney, throwing the ball in the pace. 15 yards, first down.
That's on Carrington. They'll add it to the end of the play. Take it down to the 35-yard line. And now that we have corrected the playoff picture, Houston beat the Browns. Indianapolis beat the Cardinals. Denver beat the Seahawks. The division leaders, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and San Diego. The AFC playoff picture up to date.
But as you say, it will come down to that Sunday night game, yep. Buffalo-Houston. That should be a great game in the Astrodome. And after that, things will clear up.
First down, Raiders. Evans' pass is complete to Mervyn Fernandez. And he is down at the 25-yard line.
As we go down to the
a first down.
I was going to say, heading down to the 2-minute warning, Vince Evans has a shot at 3 touchdown passes today. Not bad for a guy coming off the bench.
They mark it at the 22-yard line, first down, and the 2-minute warning will now be given to both benches. We'll step aside. Let's see him. It's time for the Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton's super play of the game.
Well, of course, it had to involve Junior Seau, the wild man middle linebacker with those intense eyes. Look at the interception, and now he does his Carl Lewis imitation at Indianapolis right there by raising his arms up, cuts across the field. He avoids one tackler, he avoids another, but Reggie McElroy, the 280-pounder, downs him. What a run back by Junior Seau. That is our Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton's super play of the game.
Well done. Well done, actually. Junior with an interception, a sack, and 5 tackles. Evans throws. It is incomplete at the 9-yard line. As Mervin Fernandez couldn't pull it down, Donald Frank had the coverage. It'll be second down. You're sure making a lot of noise with your microphone, taking it on. And what are you doing? Come down.
I'm excited. I want to see Vince Evans get his 3rd touchdown. You got a problem with that?
No.
All right. Good play by Donald Frank, stripping the ball to Fernandez.
Vince wants it too. Ooh, it was close.
Oh, he's very much in the game. Look at him, very excited.
Yeah. It's second down and 10, the San Diego 22-yard line, minute 52 left.
I wonder if Junior just said to Alex, hey, babe, how about a raise?
What are we going to do? I a friend. Evans goes to the 15-yard line. Going to be 3rd down and around 3 to go for the first down.
Safe to say this is 4-down territory?
Oh, easily. One of the safest statements that you've made all day. Perhaps this season.
The king of redundancy.
Yeah, that's right. Incomplete. Fernandez, the intended receiver. Now it is 4th down and 3.
Pats himself. He knew that was his fault. Had Fernandez on the slant, threw a little bit low. Knew right when he threw it was a bad throw. Ah, nuts. See right there. Ah, shoot. That's me. That's me. Doggone it.
Fourth down and 3. The ball just outside the 15-yard line. Evans throws, juggled, tipped, it's intercepted. San Diego has the ball. Donald Frank with the interception and the return out near the 35-yard line. And for Donald Frank, that is interception number 4 on the year.
Same play as before. He tries to drill the thing in here on a slant route. But Frank is right there, arms between. As the ball pops up in the air, he's able to nab it.
Good concentration, stayed right with it.
Well, that's why the defensive backs have that tip drill day in and day out. Ball's up in the air, and Frank gets the gift. Pretty decent run back here. Not Seau-esque, but nonetheless, got it out to the 35-yard line.
And a first down for San Diego with 1:09 left to go.
Dan Humphries at quarterback.
The enemy. He's going to pick up a yard to the 36-yard line. It'll be second down and 9.
Take a look at the left. Watch to the left of your screen how sloppy things can get in this game. Not the run back, but watch from the sidelines. A ball is going to come out on the field. Take a look at what's that other football doing? What's this other football doing out here on the field? What's this? We're playing with 2 balls now? What's that about? Jeez.
And now San Diego content to kneel down, and that will be it. They'll take the countdown. And a Charger victory over the Raiders of 36-14 in San Diego, making history today. The first team in the NFL with an 0-4 start to turn it all around and make the playoffs.
And unlike 2 weeks ago, they decided not to dump Bobby Ross with Gatorade. They want to act like they've been there before. They're starting getting used to this winning habit now, winning 10 of the last 11.
The final, once again, San Diego 36, the Raiders 14. We'll be back in just a moment.
will. That's it. Hey, Bob. Hello, Bob. Bob. Okay, you're real weak. At 5 o'clock, we will go to transponder 5. Yes. Oh. Okay, I'll let you know as soon as he gets here, and I have on my watch. Okay. Yeah, Bob, at 5 o'clock, we will go to transponder 5. Just so you know. At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, yes. Hey. Oh, that's fine. I mean, that's fine because, you know, we go back and forth to this thing. Oh, that's fine. That's no problem. We will not switch over while we're hot. Hey. How'd that stuff look, okay? Okay. No, is that the truck yet? Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, maybe we can do it now. I presume so. Greg. Hello, Greg. Okay. Okay. Hey. Oh, no, you guys can't be there. We'll just push you out. Hey, Greg. Yes, you may stop, Bob. Thanks for your help. Oh yeah, just hold it. Let's see what they, you know, just in case they screwed up. Okay. We got great shots of them coming in.
Oh, great.
Okay, Bob, feed your tape. Feed your tape. They're rolling. Yes, feed the tape. We're feeding the tape. We can go after we feed that tape.
Your Los Angeles Raiders 14. Somebody to please buckle up and drive safely.
What's up, baby? We out of here. Good job, John. John. Charge your record. Okay. I'll talk to you later, man. All right. What's up, Jim? How you doing? I'm doing good. I'll see you inside. Junior.
Where's this one? Brewski's?
Bob, can you hear me? Bob, I need, all I have is the front part of last IFB. I need the cable that has the 1/4-inch plug on it and the round button. There's one in the blue box, one in the blue box.
This IFB is fine, Ronnie. Don't worry, Bob. Don't worry about it, Bob. I can use the one that Ronnie gave me. Okay. Let me take a step back there, Blazer. You're in the playoffs, baby. Way to go. Talking to fans at trophies, I guess it's packed. And you taking the bus back?
No, I'm driving out with my wife.
You're going to miss a big celebration at the stadium. You're going to miss a big celebration at the stadium.
Hey, there's more celebrating to come now, I think.
We. Arch rival twice this season, totally dominated the silver and black. Blaze Winter, what a year for you. You're out of football a year ago this time. You got to shop your wares around the NFL, and now here we are. You're going to the playoffs, baby. Congratulations.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, it is the most incredible feeling. I've worked so many years for this, and you know, we're there. We're at least in the show. We have a wild card spot. I mean, we beat the Raiders here right in their own home. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm at a cloud nine. I'm floating above the stadium, and I'm on my way out. And I'll tell you.
So you have the wild card spot wrapped up. You win next week in Seattle. You win the division. I mean, 0-4. This was not within the realm of possibility.
History, isn't it? History, isn't it? We've been told that there's no other team in the NFL that has done that. And,
you're right.
We feel real good. We talked about it before the game about team. The Chargers are a team. We have a lot of great athletes, but we play as a team. We've stuck. We've stayed together after those first 4 weeks of the season. We hung together. We talked to one another. We believed in one another. And for me, this is I'm going to probably ride above the car on the way home while my wife drives. It is an incredible feeling.
Blaze Winter, thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts with us. That sums it up, but there are a lot more people we want to talk to. The head coach and some of the key players in the win today over the Raiders, and some of the players who've been around during what Lee Hamilton, the voice of the Chargers, has called the decade of decline. He said it's officially over. This team's in the playoffs. It's in first place in the AFC West. And Rolf, there's no better feeling than that.